Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Apologies. Started the stream and then was just immediately hit by like the overwhelming urge to use the restroom. Kind of a pain. Kind of a pain. But here we are. Flip to this thing. Oh, look at that. There's the controls. But we're back. Back at it again with whatever the heck this is. Right? Alright. So let's actually open up the proper Godot stuff. Some apps. There's Godot Mono, 3.4 stable. We got the GitHub game off kind of thing going on. Switch the scene to the proper thing. And there you go. As easy as that. As easy as that. So let's flip VS Code back to its proper settings. So that's GitHub Game Off 2021. Let's see where we're at. Please stop starting PowerShell in this terminal. Okay. So here's what we're doing. Ooh. Allow access. There we go. So we got something like this. Wow. Also technically allows for diagonal movement. I'm considering taking out diagonal movement, but I'm unsure as to whether or not that would be a good idea. I think for now this makes sense. So it always will use your primary direction for your animation, and then also the being able to talk to people. So pressing K, NPC world, overworld units, hooray, press X. yeah, that's where we're at with that. And also, this is going to be a slightly... Well, it's not going to be a shorter stream, but it's 100% going to be on time. Because, I do have stuff I need to do. But I don't want to break the schedule. I was like, should I cancel this stream and then just do one tomorrow? No. I think it's been a long time since I've broken the stream stuff. Well, not broken the stream stuff, but you know. I think I'm on a stream streak. Streak? Do I know how to talk? Yeah, but I am actually somewhat out of it as well. I'm very, very tired. Very, very tired. Mostly because of the fact that what am I trying to say? Mostly because of the fact that I went camping, well, quote unquote camping over the weekend. Some friends from university. And so what that actually means is that we just got absolutely trashed. Absolutely trashed. I only went there for one day. It was like 12 hours of just hanging out around a fire, drinking heavily, etc., catching up on the good old days. Man, I don't know how much longer I can keep doing that. Also, it's a bit weird, right? Because you just have like other people who are, I guess if we're being polite, we'll say they're in between jobs. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I was looking for it. If we were being impolite, we'll say that they are, I guess, of a questionable level of success and independence. So yeah. So how do I want to do the Gooey layer then? I'm looking at it, I'm kind of thinking, what would I even want to do here? So we can turn on stretch mode, give it a mini viewport. So what I'm thinking, right, is that for the UI, it's going to have to be scaled to the same like resolution. Otherwise it's not going to work. Yeah, so this should be a transparent background so we don't hide anything in the background. Yeah. Want this to ignore mouse input because it's just like the GUI. We'll listen for mouse input elsewhere. And then since we're stretching this, we'll want to shrink it by stretching that to stretch blah blah. Oh. Alex the Floof. It's been hello, Alex. It has been a very long while, I think. I see that you have a lot of messages, but I don't recognize the name. Oh wait, this is Null? Is this Null? Null the Floof? Your name has changed, so I didn't recognize you. Welcome back. He's done it. Look at that. I can recognize random people by just bits and pieces of their name. How are you? How are you? How has life been treating you these days? I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do all this kind of stuff. So let's see how this looks. We have a button. We'll place it. Where did it place it? So this is my viewport. You know what? Then I need another Gooey layer inside of this. That's a kind of a pain. Playing some modded Terraria. Do people still play like Terraria? Is that still popular? I remember when I was on the... Yes. Oh. I'll have you know I played Terraria in the beta. Played the full game when it came out. And by the full game, I mean like... I think there were only... Yeah, there were only the dungeons at the very ends of the map, and then also the wall of flesh at the very bottom. I don't know if anything else has been added. I haven't played since I like pretty much beat it, and then also like played a little bit of multiplayer with my little brother. But aside from that, I haven't done anything else. All HUD has been added. Nice, nice, nice. Moonlord is the vanilla end boss now. Who is the Moonlord? Oh no, I'm outing myself as... When did Moonlord? Neon Cthulhu with no legs? That does not sound familiar. Yeah. Yeah, no, that doesn't sound familiar. Moonlord? Is that a thing? That's cool. That's cool. Modded Terraria. So what does that mean? Does it just add more blocks and stuff? New areas? So what we're trying to do is I don't want to change my project scale factor for the UI stuff, right? Because if I wanted to have a more, I guess, a pixel perfect view, this is how you would do it. It's changing this value, but then that also means that you lose the ability to, I guess, just do high resolution stuff. There's a few things that I can do. One is to wrap all of this inside a viewport, which would be a bit weird. And then I can control, I still have a normal sized, I guess, battle layer, and then a pixel perfect smaller layer. But I don't know. See, like that looks bad. That looks bad. I also think it's not scaled. Yeah, that's just like that. All right. I can't tell if that is the same size pixel as these though. It might be. Hold on. Hard to say. Because there is a little bit of shading on the button. So what I'm working on right now, by the way, is GitHub Game Off 2021. Trying to keep myself motivated in terms of like just working on stuff. Because right now, unfortunately, I'm like the old motivation receptors in my brain very low, very low. So just doing anything at this point to keep productive. It's like I don't even want to play video games. I just want to like, I don't know, like take a very long break. All right, so this is what this will look like, by the way. So that's not quite the same pixel scale, but it's pretty close. That's pretty close. So it doesn't need to be 16 by 16. And that looks bad, but we'll ignore that for now, right? Actually, that pixel scale is... What's... The camera is zoomed in by... 0.3. Which means... What's the... It's divided by 0.3, so... Wait. How do you multiply 0.3 to get to 1? It's 3 point something, 3.33. So then this layer needs to be 3.33 repeating to be at the same. Oh well. Well, we tried. It was a good try. I don't know. What I could do is render all of this. By all of this, I mean this test screen. I could render all of this inside of just another viewport container. So there will be like a runner scene. So we'll create a new node called Yeah, just be a big canvas layer. So I used to use this pattern a lot, but stopped doing it because it is a bit tedious to set up every single time. So we'll do full rect, and then just add another viewport. So this is stretch strength times 3. Then this will be I guess just the runner container. Or so this is like game screen, right? Save this under game screen, add a script that's gonna be C#. Get rid of pretty much everything here. Pretty much only use the built-in script editor to look at documentation offline. So game screen, CS. The idea here is that with this node structure, we'll have this screen just be loaded in. So this screen will probably... What am I going to do about the camera 2D? We'll probably undo the zoom, so it'll be like a normal zoom amount. And then, yeah, just modify the, I guess, the stretch amounts here to be 3. So the current project resolution is 16 by 9. So we'll be squishing it to something by 300. What's 16 divided by 3? That is 550. Right? Right, 16 divided by 3, 5. So then you have, wait. No, that's not how that works. 550. Yeah, no, that doesn't make any sense. 533? Yeah, that makes more sense. Sorry, I divided that completely incorrectly. So we'll slap in the test screen here. Look at that. Camera should be okay. We'll take out the current zoom, I think. And so this should be okay, maybe? We'll also need to do a few more things, but... So like this handles the overworld stuff. Why did I open this here? This handles the overworld stuff, and I don't think... I mean, everything should just run. Probably. Oh, that looks bad. Is this not stretched? Oh, no. I need to run this one. So I run this one instead. Hooray! So now we're rendering this in a viewport, but we're also getting some weird artifacting. Because it's not Yeah, like you can kind of see the... If you turn off the visible collision shapes, you can see the artifacting in the sprites. So that's not... Yeah, that looks... Oh no. What happened to your face, man? Ooh. Yeah. So that's not a good solution. Although it would help if I wanted to do... Well, I guess it wouldn't really help in many of these circumstances. Is there any way for me to do this better? So is there a way for... So we can do like transparent background, sure. One world, no. Rendering. Sharpen intensity, no. Disable 3D, yes. Render direct to screen. If true, renders the viewport directly to the screen instead of the root viewport. Only available, no. Debug draw, no. Hey. Oh, well, this is the wrong one. Run this one. So this is the smushed one. Yeah, no. Can't use this. Probably because it needs to be... Well, it's not just... It's just not pixel perfect, huh? And then I also cannot smush the camera either. Unless there's a way for me to do that. I don't think so. Let's go Google something. Godot, pixel, perfect. Sure. Sure. Pixel perfect scaling. So this is from 2020. Usually pretty good. Achieving. Is this a YouTube? Please don't be YouTube. What is it? Let's see. Your own physics GD that manages the world. You have not given any technical details. Very good. Pixel snap. What is pixel snap? Is there pixel snap in the settings? Is that something I just never really realized was there? Where is it? Rendering. Quality. Looks pretty good. HDR, no oversampling. Use GPU pixel snap. Consider using the project setting, rendering, batching, precision, UV, contract. What was that? Send me back. Snapping. Rendering, 2D, snapping. Where? Snapping, use... Wait, what? Rendering, batching. Batching. Precision UV contract? Was that? UV contract? Some platforms, especially mobile, precision issues in shaders can lead to reading one texel outside of bounds, particularly where recs are scaled. This can be particularly lead to border artifacts or on tiles and tile maps. This adjustment, blah blah, slight squashing of Bordeaux texels. Sure, why not? Get squashed. So, this is test screen. Nothing has changed. We'll want to run this one. Maybe this will help. Oh, there we go. It's pixel perfect now. Nice. Very cool. Okay. So this is just the runner screen. And then this will contain two things. It will contain the viewport container. Well, the viewports container and then the viewports, which contains just the game. the actual like overworld screen, I guess. That's what it will be called. And then we'll have a separate battle screen. I guess lower down in the scene tree hierarchy. Yeah. Okay, cool. And so the battle screen will not be pixel perfect. Intentionally, because I don't want to do pixel art for I don't want to do pixel art for the everything. I find that to be very difficult. There we go. So this is the game screen. What does it have? Contains pretty much everything. Okay. So you'll have the overworld screen. And so I think at this point it might also make more sense to start breaking out this thing into separate parts, maybe. Since I feel like this has everything I need it to do, right? And by this I mean the overworld part that I've been running. So game screen, right? This has everything I need. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. What is this? Yeah. So this has collision. You can kind of see the snapping sometimes. So especially when we're moving in like the diagonals, you can kind of see it. The snapping becomes a bit more apparent. But we do have just regular collision, detection, talking, working. Okay. Yeah. So I think this is one of the few instances where this does make a lot of sense, because I have a kind of a unique set of needs for this one. So let's do it. Let's do a really quick refactor for this. This is no longer test screen. This will be, we'll call this overworld screen. So this is overworld screen. This needs to change names to, or the script needs to change names to overworld screen. And then test screen also needs to change names to overworld screen. There we go. So things can get a little messy once you do that. It should be fine. A lot of this will break, but that is a-okay. So here's our overworld screen. Here in our game screen, we'll have to have a reference to the overworld screen. Why? I'm not sure, actually. Why would I need to have a reference to the overworld screen? And also, is it possible for me to pause specific screens or specific nodes? Godot selectively pause nodes. Utility functions to pause a scene or a node. 3 years ago. What year is it? So was it like in 2018. Built-in pause system. Disable node in all children. Oh, okay, so I guess you can't pause single nodes. How about, is there a canonical way to stop time in a scene? Pausing games. Alright, well there's a tutorial at least. I don't want to pause the entire thing though. Get tree, pause equals true. I don't want to pause. I don't want to have a global pause. I just want to have like a kind of global pause. I guess I can still work around it, right? So we'll just have to structure it so that the only thing that will be paused will be the overworld scene. So the pause mode is, wait, stop, right? Pause mode, stop. So if I ever pause everything, it will just kind of stop itself. Whereas we'll have the battle screen, or the combat screen, battle screen, which does not which will not be affected by pause. Or process, yeah, by pause mode. So it'll always process itself, no matter what. And then we'll also need to do battle screen. So public override void. Why are you like this? Why am I not getting code completion? Why? Alright, that's fine. Public override void. I think it's called exit tree. Hit code completion. Yeah, disconnected connection taken. Yeah, I mean, we're here, right? What is this? So exit tree. Actually, isn't there like an enter tree as well? So public override. Okay, there we go. So void enter tree. Called when the node enters the scene tree on instant scene changing or whatever. Let's see. Corresponds to the node notification enter tree. So if it has children, oh, enter tree is called before ready. Oh, interesting. And then so enter tree is called before the children, but in the but ready is called in the children before the parents. Interesting. So enter tree, we'll want to do, it'll be like get tree paused. Paused is equal to true. Wait. Yes. The scene tree is paused. 2D and 3D physics will be stopped. Blah, blah, will not be called anymore in nodes. Yeah. So, I think that makes sense. Yeah. I think that makes sense. And then we'll do get tree. So whenever this is done, right? Paused is equal to false. So basically, whenever we go into a battle, we pretty much stop the world. That's the idea. App manager, we can set process mode here in public app manager as well. So we'll do like process, process priority. How do I set the process mode? Isn't this is or pause mode? Sorry, pause mode is equal to pause mode enum process. So the app manager should never ever stop. There's a few things that should also never ever stop, I think. Palette swapper, probably don't want that to stop. So if we go to utils, palette swapper, yeah, we can turn this into process as well. So palette swapper will never stop. Pretty much all of our singletons, our auto loads will not stop, which is good. Yeah, I like that. Let's also have, just drinking some green tea. Green tea with some ginger in it. Although the ginger has kind of amalgamated at the bottom of my drink, so it's kind of gross looking, but tastes okay. Although I've never really gotten, I don't know, like you'll see sometimes like people are like, oh, this is too bitter for me. It's like, I don't understand. Like, yeah, it tastes bad. Lots of things taste bad. Isn't that the point of drinking tea or coffee? Is that it wakes you up? Like, are you put to sleep when something's bitter? That's not how you spell it. That's not how you spell it. Oh, it's because I haven't changed this one. This is overworld screen. So overworld screen. And then just call it overworld screen again. Yeah, get set. And then we'll have Battle screen. Battle screen. Battle screen. Or, yeah. That's your overworld, and then this is your battle. Get set. Similarly, public override. Yeah, so there's our ready function. So in this thing here, in game screen, we'll want to delete this node. And then I think we'll want to copy the path, preload this. And by preload, I mean we'll do a packed scene. Oh, and then this needs to have it's a public variable, by the way. Don't forget, public overworld, screen overworld. What's your problem? Oh, it's because of this. This needs to be private pack scene, overworld, scene, overworld, yeah. Overworld scene is equal to GD load. Yeah, overworld screen. One of these. Yeah. Can't I do this? No? Cannot implicitly convert type. Oh. Pack scene. Sorry. Private. And also it's a read-only variable, so we can only write to it once. Like this. This will be battle scene GD. Alright, hold on. Grab the battle screen like this. Boom. Yeah. So now we can just load these in whenever we want. Public override void on ready. We'll want to do I feel like overworld is something that we'll want to instance in immediately. So we can do instance. Wait, no. You know what? We can do this in the ready function. That's okay. Overworld scene. No. Overworld is equal to overworld scene instance. Overworld screen. Let's call this screen. That's really gonna mess with me. So technically it's a packed scene, but I guess internally like to refer to these things as screens instead. Because I think technically everything is a scene in Godot, so which makes it somewhat confusing. So overworld is equal to this. We'll hit it with a then I'll need to grab the viewport. So this is a private viewport. And then public viewport. God, I love doing this part. Getters and setters. It's very nostalgic for me as a former Java developer. Brings me back to the good old days of when didn't really have to worry about figure out how to do this thing all by yourself. I usually just be told what to do. This is how you do it, implement it. Alright, well, turn your brain off basically. I mean, I guess nowadays I still just turn my brain off at work, but it's a bit more detrimental to me now. It's okay. We'll figure it out. Right, so viewport container, viewports, and then viewport, add a child, overworld. Yeah. And so now we can test this out. Hopefully it shouldn't crash. Might crash. Nice. Oh, but now we don't have our draw thing. So what happened? Overworld screen. So we should have a draw helper, shouldn't we? Or no? Draw helper screen. So maybe it's not drawing. Or you know what? Well, it's okay. I guess we don't need to have the draw helper, right? It doesn't do anything. Right? What does the draw helper do? Yeah, I don't think the draw helper actually does anything. At least in this instance, right? Because this is just a node 2D that just happens to, you know, just kind of exist. I could do this, which is have this draw like really far in advance. Or at the very least, like draw 10, right? I wonder what will happen then. Still doesn't draw. Oh, no, saw it a little bit. Oh. Oh. So this one is not scaled. So it's not drawing scaled to the screen, which makes sense, right? Because we're stretching it out. Yeah. That's my bad. That's my bad. I think that's okay, since in this kind of game, it doesn't do anything, right? That is a bit tough, though. So even if I do this, I think it'll still work. Yeah. So it's still drawing somewhat correctly, but it does need to be scaled to... It does need to be scaled to the game screen amount. So let's see. Draw helper. What do we want to do? So draw will need to be scaled to, I think, like the viewport container stretch amount as well, right? Yeah. All right. Also, I'll be right back. Need to get more tea. Hello, I'm back. I with one of these, by the way, just so it's not so lonely in chat. It's alright. Very used to doing this. Just kind of talk to ourselves constantly. Always good, always good. So draw helper. Okay. So what I think I can do here is we do a public draw helper. Draw helper. So cannot set a new draw helper, but we can adjust certain things on it. So I feel like this isn't a good idea. I shouldn't, because I'm probably going to be getting rid of the draw helper anyways. Which is the little square you can see in the corner there. So this is, it's drawing it somewhat appropriately, but like the mouse position isn't correct. Yeah, so like, I think technically, yeah, it is technically being drawn to scale, but I do need to offset the mouse position. So let's see, we can do like a mouse position offset that can be set at runtime, or at least, yeah, something like that, right? So we'll have a public mouse scaling offset. Hold on, no. Public float. Mouse scaling offset. That will set to just 1, right? Actually, if we just set it to 3, and this is the idea, is that we'll take the global mouse position, and then just divide it by the mouse scaling offset. Let's get set. Hooray. Oof, okay. So, almost correct. Almost correct. Kinda. It's the idea was there. The idea was there. So it also needs to be he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. Right. So the draw position is always correct. So that doesn't need to be changed. But the problem is that the mouse position is incorrect. So what would I do here? What would I do here? So this is your map position. World to map. Tile map to local. Mouse scaling offset. So we divide it by your mouse scaling offset. So your mouse scaling offset will always be set to your viewport container. And your viewport container has a stretch shrink factor. Stretch shrink. So we can grab that. Private viewport container. Viewport container. Yeah. I don't know why I keep making accessors for all of these, but we're doing it. It's more of just like a thing for future me to be like, other things should not be able to access these. They shouldn't be able to set it. They should only be able to read it. You know, if you only do a private field, then that means nothing else can read it. But we do need to store a reference to it. So there's layers, you know. Viewports container. Viewport container. Yeah, there we go. And so from this viewport container, we have access to the overworld. Overworld dot draw helper dot we're accessing things many layers down, and the mouse scaling offset is equal to our viewport container stretch shrink, which is an integer. Wait, it's an integer? Hold on. Alright, so this is an int, which means we need to change this to just 3. Boom, boom. It's okay. Yeah. Probably. Maybe. Let's send it. Object reference, not set to an instance of an object. That makes sense. So we can do boom, boom, boom. We can do a, what are these, right? We'll just kind of do it synchronously. Isn't this how this will work? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So now there's an offset amount that we need to do this by. So now scaling offset, and then public, probably like a vector 2, mouse position offset. And so for now it's a vector 2, 0, like so. But then we can set it here by the window size. Is it the window size? Is it like half the viewport size? It might be half the viewport size, huh? So we can do Overworld, draw helper, mouse position offsets is equal to viewport. Wait, so it's working off the global mouse position. What if I just give it a reference to the viewport, right? Since this is getting the global mouse position, but if we just get the mouse position in the viewport, that might help. That might just solve the problem, right? So this is a public viewports, the containing viewport, get set, and of course then we need to change this. Boom, boom. Oh, didn't copy it before I commented it out. So now that we have a viewport, we can do the containing viewports get mouse position. Hooray. And so overworld, draw helper, containing viewport is equal to this viewport, right? That'll probably work. Maybe. No, we're still super offset. Alright, so that didn't quite work out. That's okay. You live and you learn. So I think it is a mouse position offset that I need to modify. So what is this based off of? So mouse position offset is equal to probably the viewport size divided by 2. So this is the, we just offset it by half, maybe. Wait, I'm not using it. Hold on, whoops. So it's mouse scaling offset. So do all of this to minus the mouse position offset divided by the mouse scaling offset. Or maybe I want to divide it and then subtract it. I don't know. There's an order of operations here that I can't really think of right now. We'll see how close that is though. That's not bad. What if I do it the other way around? If I do it the other way around. So we do basically just move the parentheses, right? Or not move the parentheses, moving a bunch of stuff. So move this there, hit it with one of these, oh, minus mouse position offset, and then we'll see how that goes. Maybe the other way around is better, I don't know. Oh. It's the, is it, what? What? Is it viewport size divided by 3? Like, I notice I'm going in the wrong direction now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little confused as to why that works, but I'm a little confused as to why that works, but I'll take it. Yeah, I don't know. Well, okay, now this is completely broken, right? Smaller size, this works, but when the viewports gets really big, yeah, okay, so when it recalculates as well, we need to, does the viewport size change? Yeah, actually, does the viewport size change when you change the screen size? I thought the viewport size stays consistent, or is it because I'm doing get global mouse position? So I should be trying to get the local viewport size. So the viewport is 533 by 300, right? Stretch it out. Yeah, okay, so now the global mouse position is a bit different from the viewport mouse position, I think. So we actually needed all of these. So this is the containing, we'll bring this back, containing viewport. Overworld, just completely butchered that. Overworld draw helper containing viewport is equal to this thing. Right. Then we'll do... Actually, does this work as well? Does this previous one work? It doesn't make too much of a difference to me which one we do it, which order we do it in, but... Ah, interesting. So it must be this one. The second implementation. Otherwise it's in the wrong order. And then... Alright, so we're getting there. We're getting there. Then we'll grab all of this. Slap it in here. Then hit it with containing viewports. Something about mouse position. Yeah, get mouse position. You know, give that a run, see how it feels. All right, so now that's wrong again, but scale it up, still mostly wrong, and then it's also scaling incorrectly as well. Is it? No, actually, I should be doing the window, right? Should be like the mouse, or I guess the mouse position offset shouldn't be based off of the viewport size. It should be based off of the window size. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll keep this for now, but add it to do. To do, maybe remove this. Yeah. And then the mouse position offset, that might be incorrect. So we'll do overworld draw helper, mouse position offset. So how do I get the window? It's OS window size. Window size divided by 3. Possibly, and then on resize it'll have to I guess just figure itself out. So it is possible to connect to that as well. Ooh, where am I? Ooh. Look at that. Okay. So the scale factor is incorrect now. But we're getting closer, right? So when we're in the middle of the screen, it works. You know what? I think I'm wasting too much time on this. Like I've dealt with this before. If you need to get your actual mouse position, but for this game it doesn't even matter, right? Yeah, so instead of that, what if we just no longer drew the mouse? I don't even remember. I think the reason why I had the mouse being drawn was so you could do like a kind of like an overlay on certain tiles, but it doesn't make any more sense to do that in this context. Yeah. Since I'm not going to be doing... If I wanted to display something in the overworld, it would need to be pixel perfect as well. So what if we just stopped doing this, right? Yeah. So say goodbye to draw helper. I think I might still keep that for future games because I liked how it turned out, but it's just not useful. It's just not useful. Yeah. Let's actually save that for a little bit. So go to GitHub game off, go to here, grab the draw helper .cs, copy this over to my Godot snippets thing. So that's how I like to do it. Draw helper. These are just snippets of code that are, you know, they happen to exist. So this is a readme.markdown. Yes. Open with Notepad++. So this is draw helper. Draws a square to the screen based off of tile map coordinates. Hooray! How nice. So we can just go ahead and push that. Godot snippets. What are the changes? Add C# app manager. Add C# draw helper. Yeah, so that's available on my GitHub, which should be in my description, but also available if you just kind of ping the bot. The bot will tell you. Probably. Actually, no, it only has instructions for what the repo is, for what its repo is. But from there you can find it. You know, everything is just available. Yeah, so now we no longer have the draw helper just looking kind of weird. Nothing to draw. Now it's, you know, actual Pokemon hours. Let me see. I think I do have Kenny assets as well that I'm going to use. So we'll go to this thing, placeholders. So then there's the Kenny font package. Kenny pixel square. I think that's the one I want. What do the Kenny fonts look like? So we go to Kenny NL assets. There we go. How did Google know? So Kenny fonts. So that's Kenny pixel and then Kenny pixel square. Probably want like Kenny Mini, huh? I actually don't know. What's the difference? We'll figure it out. I can switch them in and out as well, but we'll use we'll just use Kenny Mini for now, and then we can switch it out for Kenny Pixel or Kenny High or whatever later. Fonts are deceptively difficult to do, which is why I try really hard not to do my own fonts. So let's make a new fonts folder, fonts. Go to GitHub game off, assets. We have Kenny Mini, TTF. So we'll want to create a new, probably just a new theme, huh? So that's just the fonts. And then we can have a new folder called theme. It's just theme singular, maybe. Create a new theme like so. Why does this look so small? Default fonts. So it's gonna be a new, I think it's a new dynamic font, maybe? Is this how this works? Quick load, what do you got? Nothing. I think it's a new dynamic font. And then we just need to point it at, yeah. I think that's okay. And so then there's like settings, size is probably okay. Don't need an outline, although we could add an outline and make it look absolutely horrible. Look at that shader. Look at that. I don't know, I actually kind of like it, but maybe that's just me having bad taste, huh? Let's give this a save as, we'll call this overworld themes. So go to assets. Oh, you know what? Then we'll need to have 2 separate themes, right? So this should be renamed. So delete theme, new folder, themes. Then this will be overworld. And of course this will be overworld theme. Hooray! Overworld theme. Give that a save, and then this is just where we'll have the rest of this stuff available. Yeah, so overworld screen, we can add. Where's the UI pop-up going to be for overworld stuff? Yeah, because we actually do need to draw everything on a separate canvas layer. Canvas layer. So this is the GUI canvas layer for the overworld at the very least. And then your battle screen will just use a different theme altogether. So GUI, this is your GUI layer. Yeah. And I think at this point it might make sense to start breaking this stuff out into their own folders as well, since I'm going to have a different script for GUI layer. So it's going to have its own stuff, right? Overworld. So let's grab all of this. Overworld screen to overworld. It's going to break some imports as well. So draw helper. Oh. Something's broken, but that's okay. So this is one, that's wrong. 100%. Oh, what happened here? Delete that. I don't know what happened there. But this is correct. Boom, and then this needs to be moved to its own folder as well. So battle screen, a bit more transient for sure. A bit more transient for sure than the overworld screen. Overworld screen will pretty much always be loaded in at all times. And then after something happens, we'll initialize it in a fancy way. Thank you very much for the follow, anonymous viewer. If you like what you see, well, I generally work on like regular software on stream, so I wrote this thing, and then also this thing. Look at that. Whee! It's not too good for stream avatars, so I made my own. So it has all the requisite Twitch integrations. So IRC, which is Twitch chat. Also, it's integrated with channel points, which I don't think Stream Avatars is, but Stream Avatars does have its own little Twitch extension thing that you can click on and stuff. So you win some, you lose some, but I don't really want to make a Twitch extension like that. Could I do it? Yeah, it's gonna look bad though. You know, like even the instructions for creating a Twitch extension are like, yeah, you should use Create React App. It's like, yeah, I know how to use that. It's just creates the entire project for you basically. But my confidence in making something that looks good is very low. And also, I think if to do something like that, so the stream avatars thing, it would need to be, I would need to like just buy a server as well. So that might be a bit difficult if I want to run it. Because of course I could just host everything locally, but then you could introspect and then find out my IP address, which isn't too bad, but it's just a bit weird. It's like, why expose myself to that kind of pain? Okay, so everything still works even after we did the entire restructuring. That's good. We'll add a thing to Gooey Layer here. And then I think I'm going to have to split these up between overworld and battle screen as well, in terms of this stuff. So here we have game screen. We'll need to import the specific overworld screen. So overworld screen, I think this will need to go like this. So this is like overworld. Right, and then this needs to import from using screens overworld. Right, give this a save. Then need to open up Gooey Layer, and then we're gonna have 2 Gooey Layers because I'm clearly a genius in naming convention. Namespace. So this is I forget what the acronym is supposed to stand for, by the way. I was like, I got a great idea, but I never actually wrote down the name I intended this to be. I was just like, you know what? Everyone loves a good acronym. We'll figure it out later. Or the name I have in mind is so good, there's no way I'll forget it. And I did. Totally forgot. Alright, so okay, so this is the Gooey Layer. This Gooey Layer will have, I guess, just a control. What am I doing? You know what? I feel like my N key might be repeating, but hold on. Because I'm like 99% sure I did not double tap N. Luckily, I do have just additional switches because this is a hot swappable keyboard, so I don't need to resolder. Did I hit N multiple times? I don't think I did. No, that looks fine. And I don't think the terminal does any input validation either for that kind of stuff. I don't know. Maybe we can do that. No, maybe I'm just dumb. There we go. Maybe I should just get better at typing forehead. Yeah, so there's your control. So the reason why we need 2 of these things is 1, so the Gooey Layer will always draw on top of stuff. And it's not affected by anything in the screen or the camera. And then the control is what we need to actually do this, which is assign a theme to it. So this is our overworld theme. Wow. How does he think of this? Yeah. So now I don't need to attach the theme to every single element. It will just, you know, CSS style kind of propagate down to all of the other things. Yeah, so I made the thing. I made the stuff. Now what? I think it's just a panel container, huh? So we can do something Pokemon style. Panel container, have this, we'll full erect it for now, just so I can see what it looks like. Then we'll do anchors. Left, how does that look? That's pretty big. That's pretty big. 0.7. Yeah, that's okay. How does this look in game? Okay. And then, of course, I think what I'm going to do is also have the camera just follow the player as well. Not too hard to do. I think the pixel scaling is appropriate as well. So let's go to theme, go to theme. And then we can add a member here. So I mean, this looks pretty bad, but hold on. We're getting to it. We're getting to it. So this is a panel container. Panel container. Hooray. Yeah. So we'll add a panel, and then we'll have the panel style box. Very cool. Not very good at doing themes. So that looks okay. That looks okay. Could be worse. Corner radius, content margin. Yes, 10, 10, 10, 10. I think. Then we'll also want to have... we don't need to have a corner. Corners are for nerds. Shadows, anti-aliasing off. Because we are trying to do... This layer, the overworld layer, is going to be pixel perfect. We will want to have a margin, so we'll do 10, 10, negative 10, negative 10. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That's how it looks. Scaled up. And look at that. It is pixel perfect. So you can kind of see him behind there. And you can see the single line. So if you do that, you can see that it is indeed snapping properly to the pixels. You can tell it's perfect by the pixels. Something. It was I tried. A very super strained reference to one Reddit meme. So how do labels look? This is a test. Look at that. Ooh, that looks bad. Ooh, I don't like that. So go here. Let me edit the font. Anti-aliasing looks bad. Ooh, okay, that's... yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's okay. And then it won't look too bad once we stretch it out. I think that looks pretty bad. Or maybe it's because the font is just too big. I don't know. If we make this like 12, how will it look? I don't know what I'm doing. So we can scale it up. This is a test. All right. Do the pixels look appropriate? Like there's a bit too much anti-aliasing, I think. So we say, you know, goodbye to the outline. Oh, there we go. Maybe just size 8. Probably can't get any smaller than that. Size 8 fonts. No outlines. No bitmaps either. Now we can add an outline. Why not? And then also we don't have to just do it like this. We can just kind of YOLO it. Where's my label? Hello, this is a test of a really long label. And so this should auto wrap. All labels in use should be auto wrapping as well. We'll move this around. I don't know, probably like here. So we can look at the pixel size. Oh no. Okay, pixel size here. Sorry. So how does that look? It is still a little anti-aliased. I can't tell. I'm looking at the T, and I think the pixels are actually different sizes. Yeah. I don't know. It looks like the pixel is a different size. Even though it should be rendering on the same layer, right? I don't know. Let's mess with the font size again. So if we just make it 7, maybe turn off the outline. If you make it 6, that's just way too small. Right? Then that's not even readable anymore? Yeah. That's actually how it's gonna look. I feel like 7 might be okay. Ooh. You know what? I think 7, yeah, 7 is the exact correct amount. Or is it because of the outline? Is it because of the outline? So if I add the outline back, does it kind of mess with the text as well? So I like the look of the outline, but it does make it a bit jank as well. Well, now I just can't tell, right? I think the pixel size is correct, but the anti-aliasing is kind of messing with me. I wonder how it's doing the outline stuff, actually. Yeah, see, now that's the correct pixel size. I'm pretty sure that this is the correct pixel size. Let me see if I can line it up. Yeah, I can kind of see here that... yeah, I think it's the correct size. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do this. We're keeping it. This is what the overworld text is gonna look like. And no one can stop me. Well, I guess my computer could stop me if I just kind of like lose my entire hard drive right now, so to prevent that from happening. Git add all. So this is not currently open source, but it will be. I'll make it open source after the jam is complete. So the jam is complete. GitHub game off. When is that? It's at December 1st at 4:37 p.m. Yeah. So we got time. We got time. Also, my bot has failed me once again. Need to figure out how to make it a bit better and a bit more, I guess, error resistance. Don't know. Because the most recent version of the bot, right? So let me get with a repo, because even I don't have the repo. Where is it? Because I did see it in my Discord. It did ping everyone again. Or I guess everyone who is subscribed to certain notifications. So Twitch bot. Still needs to reorganize a lot of this as well. Yeah, so it should only be able to send this piece of data to Discord, which is the Discord ping, right? So if you are not live, then you are live now. And then you're, wait, no, if you aren't, so if you have data when you ping the endpoint to see if I'm live, and we only ping it once a minute, so it's pretty slow. So if there is no data, then we can start counting up and see if we are actually offline. And then there is, yeah, I have to be offline for at least 20 minutes and then come back online in order to be counted. Or I need to be offline for at least 20 minutes to be counted as offline. Although I should probably like increase that to 30 minutes even. Yeah, but length of data is 0, then whatever. Otherwise, if we do see that we're online, and then also see that we're not live, then we should ping. If we see that I'm online, then I'll just say that I'm live and I'm also not offline at all, right? So we reset the switching for, you know, being able to say that I'm not live, right? one of these. Or you know what? Something about this seems weird. Maybe I should remove this line here. That might be messing with some of the code. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. I do write all kinds of code for work and I guess for leisure. Does this count as leisure? Mostly write Java, Python, Golang for work. Prefer to program in Python. Do a bit of Rust as well, I should say. Also do a bit of Rust for work as well. But higher level or low level languages, those are for the birds, man. Those are for the birds. We don't need those. All right, so this is your panel container. This is like your menu container, I guess. This is your menu container, right? And then this is just your menu. Wow, how does he think of this stuff? Where did I place the GUI layer? GUI layer, yeah, GUI layer is here as the C# script. Just kind of hanging out on the overworld screen, and then, you know, everything here should be controlled via the one script, the GUI layer here. Oop. What did I do? Get saved. Overwrite. And I need a way to configure Godot so that it doesn't try to open whatever is here in the in-editor thing. Like I like having the editor because it allows you to just search help. The best part. And also I do have just a GD script, which is better served at being like using the in-engine editor, in my opinion. Let's see. What do we have though? We have just the control, the global control. So this is our node structure right now, which is just the menu right here. And that doesn't look too bad once we start doing stuff. Yeah, because it scales itself automatically. So then we can have like a big list of things to do. What if we do this for the menu, by the way, since there is already a color palette in use. So I should try to adhere to the color palette as much as possible. What is the palette though? We'll open up Pixel Edit. Open up a recent document, this one. I guess let's adjust the swatch. Grab the hex code, press escape. This is the outline. No, that's the text. Undo me. Undo me. No. Undo me. There we go. Don't edit the dynamic font anymore. Save this. Panel container, panel, background color, paste in. Then we want to have a border as well. 1111. And then the border color is going to be this color here. Adjust swatch. This is some sort of brown. Exactly the color I left in. Don't say it. So how does this look? Is this pixel perfect? Is this 1 pixel? I think that's 1 pixel, yeah. That looks okay, yeah. Look at that. Beautiful. How to do pixel perfect stuff without having to really mess with any of like the Windows stuff, right? So you would want to do like if you wanted to do like everything pixel perfectly, I think it might be easier if you set your width and your height to your your pixel perfect size, so it'd be like 256 by whatever, and then you stretch out your width and height to your, I guess, intended resolution, which can be kind of tough. To work with, because if you're doing anything that has you know, it needs to see your mouse position. That can be tough. That can be tough. So this is your control root, by the way. Oh. I guess this needs to be save branch as seen. So go to screens, overworld. So this is the Gui layer. Right, yeah, so we should be doing this here instead. Someone added me as a friend on Snapchat. Do people still use Snapchat? Is that still a thing young people do? I have no idea. All right. Grab the control root. So, private control root. And then in your public override, void ready, we'll grab the control root. Yeah, control root is equal to get node. Yeah, so this is how you have to do it in C#, of course. Always a bit tough. Getting over the fact that there's a lot of niceties that using GD script has. It does a lot of things for you automatically. Which is why it's hard to go between GD script and another language, right? Because GD script is so highly integrated with the engine. Private panel container. Panel. I guess it doesn't matter, right? But we'll say panel container for now. So this is the menu container. Menu container equals node panel container. It's not going to give me it. Fair enough. All right, so there's your menu, and then I think I'll also need to have one more thing on the overworld screen, which is, so here's your menu, right? So that's very Pokemon style. And then your dialogue, yeah, your dialogue shows up at like the bottom half of your screen usually. Yeah? Yeah. So let's do one more. Panel container. So, boom, boom. Stretch me out. Probably like a 0.6. Maybe not. Maybe 0.7. That doesn't feel big enough, but I think as long as I'm not like typing out essays and like I can kind of guarantee the size of the text, right? Since I have, you know, we're not stretching out the screen. All we're doing is squashing everything to fit the intended resolution. So I think this is okay. Yeah, so that's okay. That's okay. We'll do this for now. This is not how it's... Yeah, I think this makes sense, right? And then we'll have the camera follow the player. So the player will always be centered on the screen, so the player will be always here. You won't have both menus open at once, so it won't look this scuffed either. I think I can make the... You know what? I think this can be 0.6. I think 0.6 is probably okay for that. Yeah, 0.6. If you're centered on screen, then that's okay. Nice. So this is like dialogue container. So private panel container dialogue container. So we need to grab it. Dialogue container equals get node. Yeah, there we go. I think additionally, I think I want them to just be visible at all times for my own benefits. But then once we load in, they should do something like a menu container. Or I guess we can have a few helper methods, right? That can be called. So Nothing else should ever be accessing these things. These are just kind of helper references for me. Otherwise, when I want to interact with the GUI layer, I need to use some of these functions. So public void. I guess it's like toggle GUI. And so all that really does is, well, yeah. We'll do for each control, lowercase control in control root. I think that's okay. Get children. We'll do control hide. Wait. Hide? Wait, is hide an actual function? I was gonna do visible is equal to not visible, but maybe. No, I mean, this is toggling it, right? Actually, that doesn't make any sense. This will be, yeah, I guess this should just be hide GUI then, huh? So hide GUI. And so we'll just assume that you want to hide everything. So hide. Yeah, okay. Neat. So we'll just call hide GUI here. And of course, what that means for what's about to run is that you can't see the GUI anymore because there's no way to bring it back up. How nice. Thinks of everything. It's overworld screen. So we can start listening for several inputs. Do I have the player overworld unit? Yeah, I think it's better to just do this. So this is the movement region, by the way. Region, movements, and then end region, just so I can hide this part. My favorite part about C#. I kind of like preprocessor defines. I don't know if that's a controversial thing to like or not. All right, gonna refill my tea. BRB. Hello, hello, I'm back. So let's see. Hi, Gui. And then I think here, player overworld units. So this is all our movement controls. This is our, I guess, interaction control. And so all it's doing right now is it's just printing out the unit name. So you get rid of that. I know it works. We have one unit right now. You can kind of see down here. Both units look the same, but it's all right. Not a racist thing. They are literally the same sprite. So what do we want to do? I can attach like a dialogue option to the unit. And so if it's an overworld unit, yeah, and you can see here that we do a lot of casting as well within the same frame. Entities, units. So we have your overworld unit. NPC overworld units, which is what this needs to be. NPC overworld unit, which currently uses, it's just using the same scripts. Yeah, so hold on. Let's go to what am I doing? NPC overworld unit, which is just an area 2D. Hooray. Okay, get rid of all of this. NPC overworld unit. Go here. Open up NPC overworld unit CS. I think I'm also going to want to move all of these, unfortunately. Hold on. Undo me. So this will be namespace. Better to figure out that I want to restructure how everything is stored early rather than later. You know, probably should have planned this out a bit better. Like I do have like a written plan of how I want everything to look. I just didn't refer to it when I was doing the actual programming, so no. It's going pretty well. There we go. Overworld units. There we go. Okay, cool. Overworld unit, I think this is fine. Has all the movement stuff handled. This looks really bad, but just know that these are just like big switch case statements. So it looks bad, but it's not actually that bad. And yeah, no, I mean, yeah, this is all just animation stuff. Most of this is animation stuff. Actually, pretty much all of this is animation stuff. Actually, entirely, yeah, from line 62 to the end of that function is all animation handling. So it does run as fast as possible, so who cares? And then this is the single line for movements. Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. Player overworld unit. This is your NPC overworld unit. So we'll need to have a few things defined, I think. We can have probably like call it a public string. Will it be a public string? I suppose it will. But it will only have a getter, which means it shouldn't be a public string. It should be a private string. Private string, I guess, text, dialogue, dialogue. And we'll just have this set to change me by default, right? Label this as export, which is some sort of Godot attribute. How do attributes work, actually? Attribute usage. Targets, properties, and fields. How to C#? Oh, look at that. Ooh, it does some reflection. Nice. I say that like I I knew what that meant. Like I know what it means, but like reflection is always something that's kind of hard to understand, at least for me. Actually, why would I want to do this? Get rid of that. Yeah, public string dialog is just a getter and setter, right? And then we can initialize it as change me. So the idea here is that we can do something like units will have their default dialogue option somehow, but then you can also change the dialogue based off of some events in the future as well. Yeah. Yeah. I think that makes sense. Yeah. I like that. Alright, so here's the slightly harder part, is that this is now the NPC overworld unit, right? And then on our overworld screen, now we have an NPC overworld unit. Let's rebuild. Cool. There's a dialogue. We'll keep it as change me for now. Yeah, we'll keep it as change me for now. And then we'll probably also want to do like some sort of weird open world type thing. I have an idea of how to do that. We'll probably just do like some teleportation to give you the illusion of an open world. So there might be like a few like stutters or whatever every now and then, but that's okay. So when I talk to you, what should happen? I'm thinking I'm going to use C# events. I'm not going to use the signals, because I think connecting to signals is a bit harder than just having an event, right? So we can do, this is the dialogue. Yes. This is your overworld unit that has the actual controls. So here we can do public. Oh, hello. Get yeeted bot. Or actually, before we yeet you, how do I report you? Spam. Any malicious links? Offered. Posted link to buy follows. There we go. And then get blocked. And we'll ban you. He's done it. Having an old account that wasn't curated yesterday. You tried. So if you're a bot, you're welcome to watch. But don't out yourself. Public static events handler. So what will this have? It's actually a bit difficult, huh? So how this works, right, is that we... Actually, how do events work in C#? I have this written down somewhere, or I have this done before. Not done before. I've how to talking is hard. I have implemented this before. So hold on. This is one of my older projects that I just kind of have off and on. The idea is good. I don't think that this is actually the most up-to-date stuff, but there's the Logs. This might be the most up-to-date one. I don't know. But it's subscribed to... Yeah, it subscribes itself to some events. Like add log, right? And then that's the event handler. Yeah. So this has to be, I guess, NPC, right? NPC overworld unit. And then what will we do here? So you'll have an event, and you'll broadcast out the events with the specified text, and then the Gui layer will need some way to, I guess, add a event handler to that kind of stuff. Yeah. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. I wonder if we can do this, right? So this is no longer a string. This is now a Godot array. So eat this for now. Go to NPC overworld unit. So what I was kind of thinking was, like, how do I guess break up text into multiple lines of dialogue? So there's a few ways to do that. So I could do it manually. Can definitely do it manually, which is to say, you know, what I was about to do, right? Is, using Godot collections, right? And then I changed this to be an array of strings. So that's basically it, right? And so this allows me to manually define every single piece of dialogue. But I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not. Maybe it is. Let's see. So let's recompile it. Hit with a recompile. So we have a nil array. Probably not what we want, huh? Probably want like a new array of strings. Hit it with another recompile. Array. Yeah, and then that's just your dialogue, huh? And then this will be a public static event handler of a bunch of Godot arrays because I need these to be accessible via the editor for my own sanity. So that's, what is it? Dialogue events. Is that how you would do it? Dialogue event? Yeah, I think that's okay. Right? So that's a static event, and then in the Gui layer, since it's a static variable, so it's just globally accessible, we can do public Gui layer. We'll need access to the unit using entities units overworld. Should probably actually do it the other way around, right? And by other way around, I mean like entities overworld units as opposed to entities units overworld. Because that just means that you have that many more directories. I don't know. Whatever, we're too far in. We're too far in. Can't stop now. let's see, we'll do like a generate dialogue or show dialogue, right? So we'll do public void show dialogue, dialogue, and so this will have, okay. So the handler needs to have an object reference, so some sort of OBGA, or I guess the sender, right? Oh, hello knock. Very close to a duck, yeah? You have rolled an animal, so, you know. Oh, is the mouse. Sorry. It's hard coded. I'm sorry, just to troll you. Actually, that wouldn't be too far of a stretch. So I guess the sarcasm would be lost. How's it going? It's going. It's going. Feeling pretty low energy recently, but I'm committed to trying to finish this GitHub game by December. How are you? How are you? This will be an array. Oh, I don't have containers. Using Godot. So you did add name equals amazing troll. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? It's still possible, right? Because I don't always push my most recent changes to GitHub, so. Or I could just have a custom build. Congratulations, you're special. Let's see, this is it's just the dialogue, huh? Yeah, so this is what I have so far. I've kind of pivoted to make this pixel perfect, at least for the overworld stuff. So hopefully this doesn't break. This might break. Look at that. Okay, and then the GUI is hidden by default, so let me turn that off. So it turns out not too hard to make things pixel perfect. There's actually a few more options. Or if you want pixel perfect in addition to just regular, I guess it's rendering, there's a few things you would need to do that's not super obvious. So one is, it's one of these things. Yeah, GPU pixel snap on. Batching, need to use UV contract as well. It's beautiful. And now the UI will always show, or the GUI will always show, you can see here that the text, it's a bit jank, but that's okay. It is pixel perfect though. You can kind of tell by the pixels there. So hooray. And then that still gives me the option of doing a separate battle UI, which is not pixel perfect. So I guess mixing the two is kind of a weird design choice, but I don't know, I thought it'd be kind of cool. I thought it'd be cool, and that's why we're doing it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to figure out an API for doing dialogue, so Pokemon style. I think what I want to do is I want to have an array of strings so that I can, I guess, exactly time what things are shown. How's C# treating you? It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I think once I got used to how I think you're supposed to load things in, I think that's the hardest part, right? Is need to know that if you want to, you know, load things in, you need to do it like this. So you load it, you almost always will be loading in a pack scene. I don't know why they don't just assume it's going to be a pack scene, I guess. And then once you're actually spawning in, once you're actually instancing in the pack scene, that's not how you do it. You need to do it like this, instance, and then it's the actual class. So it's a bit confusing, but once I figured that out, easy. C# have default values for generics, default type. I'm not sure. I've never had to interact with that part of it, so maybe it does. I think at least for the Godot types, so like if you're using like a Godot array or a Godot dictionary, actually I don't know how it works. Like I know for Godot arrays and Godot dictionaries, you can optionally specify a type, but I think internally inside a Godot, it doesn't matter. So this is like TypeScript tier generics, I guess. It's like you could, but the underlying implementation doesn't care. So I'm thinking, I feel like I don't want to have this on the player unit. Maybe. TypeScript tier? Yeah, well, in terms of what I meant by that was like TypeScript has strict typing, right? But it compiles down to JavaScript, which doesn't really care all that much about your typing. So like, I think that's the same thing that's happening here. No, it really doesn't. Yeah. So are you agreeing with me? What I'm trying to say is that even though I'm using a Godot array that's statically typed to use a string, I think at runtime I can add anything I want to this array. Because the Godot array does not care about what it holds. It's only at the C# level. But I say, like inside a GD script, I could access that same array and just push random values to it. I'm not sure how that would interact with C# though. I've never tried it because that just sounds dumb, but it's possible to do so, in theory. NPC overworld unit, yeah, I think this needs to have this thing, by the way, so we'll grab this, boom. Ooh, hold on, really messed that up. Alright, so there's your C# events, sends out an event handler, blah, blah, blah. We'll hit it with a public void. I guess it's just like get dialog, huh? Or process dialog, start dialog, yeah, start dialog. Void function, and then all that does is it sends out dialog events, question mark, invoke this with the dialog. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah. And then here in Gui Layer, well no, player overworld units, right? So if we have the unit, the NPC overworld unit, we're successfully able to cast to it, then we'll do units dot start dialog. And that's it. Hooray. Get rid of the test function. I think that should work. And then Gui Layer just needs to connect to that. So do NPC overworld units dot dialog events, add an event handler to that, which is just show dialog. Yeah. And so this way I have the information on, or I have information on who is sending me the events, right? Because to start dialog, we invoke it with this current instance along with the Godot array that we just kind of pass along. Then in show dialog, now we have the dialog along with the unit. Yeah, okay, that's neat. In theory, that should work. I wonder what happens if we hit this with the GD print. And then show dialog, what we want to happen in the UI. So the UI is hide GUI, but then boom, we have dialog container. We want to show this one, so dialog container. So there's a hide, is there a show? it's currently hidden. For controls that inherit pop-up, yeah, that's fine. Container show, and then we'll also want to add probably a V-box, maybe. Yeah, I guess probably like a V-box, and then I was gonna say like I can add like a character portrait. Oh, you know what? You know what? Like a really crappy, like 16-bit character portrait. Constant cats. Array of cats. Constant dogs, array of animals, which are cats. Wait. Constant animals, which is an array of animals, is equal to cats. This is okay in time. Well, isn't it if you have... Well, as long as cats are inherit from animals, isn't that okay? Right, what I was more referring to was, I guess... No, is that not okay? Wouldn't it just kind of treat them as the... Yeah, isn't that fine in TypeScript? Or I guess in like Java, which is my standard, my go-to for typing. The extended example, const animals. Is it? Wait, so constant cats, which is an array of things that are cats, or of cats. Constant animals, which is animals, which is equal to cats. Animals push new dog. Oh, so TypeScript doesn't care at that level. Interesting. Yeah. Crashes when you run it. Interesting. Interesting. Assuming that all of those things are inheriting correctly. I don't know. Like, isn't... Well... Animals push new dog, because... Oh, interesting. Yeah. Does that work in Java or C#? That's interesting. Yeah, I guess it would crash, huh? It's interesting though. I've never really tried to think my way around that, but TypeScript is only that lets JS does pretend they're safe. That's fair enough. Like, I thought it did all the type checking for you though before it compiles out JavaScript, so it should catch that. It's a very, I guess, almost like the Rust methodology. No idea what Java or C# does. Yeah, me neither. Never tried it. Could probably try it now, but I'm not going to. Alright. So we'll have, I guess, like a texture rect. TypeScript specifically allows that because that's what JS devs expect. So it should actually be. Interesting. Interesting. Never really thought about it. Mostly because I don't do that kind of stuff. Let's see, align left. TS isn't good for my health. RIP blood pressure. Maybe you should stop working with so much. Okay. I was gonna say is maybe you should stop working with so much Java, because coffee increases your blood pressure. So I don't know. There was a joke in there somewhere. I just couldn't pull it out. I couldn't tease it out. That issue because I avoid inheritance as much as possible. Definitely a joke in there. Yeah, that's what your mother told me last night. Oh. Yeah, it is very sad. It's alright. You win some, you lose some. barely 12-year-old humor. Yeah, but see, it's better than that because it was a self-burn as well. There's layers. You know, as they say, you gotta get those quick wins whenever you have a setback. I saw my chance, I took it. Am I proud of it? No. But I also don't have a time machine to stop myself. Dialogue container show, and then we'll want to just store the current dialogue, I think. All you're left with is regrets. No regrets. If I said it, I meant it. Unfortunately. Actually, that's not entirely true. If I said it, I probably meant it, unless I said it incorrectly, in which case I did not mean it. Which is a very convenient way of doing a lot of this stuff. But it's basically like how to say nothing at all in like one very long sentence. If I said it, I meant it, unless I didn't. Unless I said it wrong, in which case I didn't mean it. Hooray! Gotta love consulting speak. This is like current dialogue, right? Dialogue. Current dialogue, which is a new array of strings. I think this should probably be okay. Let's overwrite. So we'll show the dialogue container. We'll also print out the current sender. So our current dialogue. Did I already explain to you what the idea is for this Game Jam game, by the way, Knock? Are you participating in the GitHub Game Off 2021? And also, we'll need to have... No, I'm too lazy. You got an entire month. You have an entire month. As long as you have 48 hours, I think that's enough time. So no, what's your game idea? Okay, so the game idea is... Well, I guess the... First off, the theme for the GitHub Game Off is bug. Which is eerily very similar to the Ludum Dare. To the Ludum Dare theme, which was unstable. So instead of doing something that's very gameplay driven this time, I'm doing something that's very, I guess, just meta. Mostly because I wanted to do something that was like, I guess, Pokemon style inputs like this. No chance I'm taking a month to play the game you built in a week. Actually, the game I built in a week was actually just built in 28 hours. So, not even a week, much less than a week. There we go. So yeah, I think for a 28-hour game, or 28 total hours out of the 48 that were allocated for the jam, and then streamed for 34 hours as well. Taking 28 days where it would take you 28 hours. 28 days later, you got nothing, but there is now a zombie apocalypse. My body is ready. You watched 28 Days Later. Very good movie, except for like the second part of it, which is very strange. I still need to watch 28 Weeks Later. I hear that's pretty good as well. That's neither here nor there. And hold on. Anyways, what was I talking about? I was talking about... Oh, the game idea. So it's more meta. I wanted to make something that was Pokemon-esque controls, but then also had Square Enix Dungeon Encounters. There we go. Square Enix's new game, which I saw was just getting trashed in reviews because it doesn't look very high quality. I mean, I'm sure it is high quality, but like, this is the battle system in their $30 game. Art looks nice, but like, what? This is all the game is? Question mark. Yeah, so I'm not doing this part, I'm doing this part. So Pokemon style overworld, and this is what the battles will look like with my own developer art. Because I could do that. That looks easy. With I guess not a real-time battle system, but it's a WeGo system. So you both, or it's a potentially WeGo system, so you can potentially go at the same time as your opponent. 30 seems a bit much. Yeah, it looks good. I'm just not paying $30 for that. I'd probably give it like, yeah, 50% off. I'd buy that. $15. That looks like a $15 game. Something that's entirely mechanics driven. Yeah. And even then, the mechanics, I was reading on, like, I think it was Destructoid, that there's a lot more depth once you get to the higher floors after a few hours. I'm like, ah. I'm not waiting a few hours. Alright, so let's have, I guess, a state here as well. So Gooey Layer, we're just gonna have a private enum GUI state. And so we'll have none. Yeah, I don't mind graphics. I mean, I like roguelikes, yeah. Well, this one is called Dungeon Encounters. Yeah, Dungeon Encounters. Didn't review very well, but I can see why. I don't know if this is a roguelike. I think this is just like a very pure dungeon crawler, right? So I think it still looks fun, but a bit overpriced. Anyways, that's the combat system that I'm going for. We're getting to it. With the overworld system of Pokemon. And then how this ties into the theme of Bug is that, what if, when you create your character, you know, the big bad guy was just like, you know what? Get deleted, son. And so you are basically I guess like a null pointer or whatever, right? And then so, like your data still exists technically, but then no one knows who you are. So NPCs will not react to you, enemies will not react to you, but you still have party members. Your party members are still like part of the world. So it's more of a meta experience. And I guess also in terms of combat, you'll also not be targetable. So I think there's a lot of cool things that you can do with that idea. Because I'm not aware of any games that have really taken it as far as it could have been taken. Right, so what if you just don't exist? So people will talk to you, they'll be like, oh, this is who you are? Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. And then once you talk to them again, they're like, oh, who are you again? Was I supposed to remember you? So like, you know, what if you were to just like steal from a shop? Once you leave the screen, they're like, oh, okay. Who stole my stuff? I don't remember. Or like, I guess if party members leave your party, they just entirely forget about who you are, right? GUI states, elements, hey. It can't be a private one? I guess it can be public. Okay, interesting. So this cannot be a private enum, huh? Elements defined in a namespace cannot be explicitly declared as private, protected, internal, or private, protected. Interesting. All right. Well, welcome to being a public enum. Yeah, that's the idea, right? JRPG with one single twist. This is like, what if you don't exist? And we'll figure the rest out later. Alright, so that's your current dialogue. We want to have public GUI state state, and then we'll have it equal to GUI state none. There we go. Sounds like decent potential. Yeah, I think it's more driven by. It'll be definitely be more driven by, not gameplay, but just the idea and the interesting ideas that I can come up with. Whereas my Ludum Dare game that you're playing, or you're trying to port right now, is more gameplay driven. Pretty big for even a month-long jam. Well, perhaps we'll see. We'll see how much I can do. Right, because the GUI stuff already taken care of. All the menus and stuff easy. Battles, I think this battle system is fairly simple. I have an idea of how to implement it. And even then, that's not like the main focus of the game. So I think it's hopefully okay. So switch. Switch on states. So if we are GUI, that's not how you do it. It's case, lowercase case. GUI states. Wait. Yes. Return. I suspect you're underestimated, but I have no experience, so I'll be keen to see how you do. Yeah, of course I'm always overestimates or underestimate how big or how complicated something is to do. I do know, I have a pretty good idea how I want to do this though. This one, simple. I think actually doing all of the interactions and stuff, that's probably a really big task. So we'll see. I'm not sure how big of a task it's going to be. The entire kind of like world not remembering you is going to be kind of tough. And then since the entire quality of the game, right, is kind of based off of how that kind of pans out, that's going to be... It'll be weird. It'll be weird. We'll figure it out. GUI states menu. Anyways, I'm really just doing this so I can stay motivated though, as mentioned a million times before. So to do, we'll do, oh no, stop. For dialogue though, so once we're here, current dialogue is equal to dialogue. We'll show the dialogue container, and then we'll also set our states to GUI states dialogue, right? And then if we ever hit hide GUI, then we can also just break out of the states. So state is equal to GUI state none. Here we go. I like how things are going along so far. I think I've wasted a lot of time trying to do, I guess, just basic Pokemon movement. And here we are. So if IE is action pressed, please. I used to get code completion, but not anymore. All right, primary action. IE is action pressed, primary action. Then we will, I guess, increment the dialogue. So we'll make this public as well. I think that'd be kind of cool. I kind of like it when games take away dialogue control from you. That might be a weird take. Maybe not a hot take, but it's just kind of weird. As long as they don't do it too often. That's like, oh, they're speaking real fast. Progress dialogue. What do you mean? So sometimes, like, you know, when you're like, you know, when you're trying to cycle through dialogue selections, you'll be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll just wait for you forever, right? Until you hit next. But sometimes games will be like, oh, this person's speaking really fast. So, you know, they'll type, and then immediately move on to the next line before you're done reading. Something like that. Or they'll just slam through the entire dialogue really, really quickly. So usually you need to like press, you know, continue. But that's explaining why I'm making this public, so that I can, one, we can listen for you to press continue, or I can just call it based off of a timer somewhere. Yeah. Cutscenes, well, not even cutscenes, right? Not even cutscenes all the time. Sometimes there's like a, I guess, a character that's like, you know, panicking or something, right? What else do you call it? I don't know. I mean, do like visual novels technically have cutscenes? Isn't a visual novel just entirely a cutscene then? It's just cutscene after cutscene. It could be, maybe, if you want to abstract it out to that layer. So we have our dialogue container, and then dialogue container has dialogue label. It's in the name, right? Cutscene. Is that supposed to be like a pun? I think I missed it. So private label dialogue label. No, I'm literally saying that's what it is. A cutscene? Question mark. I'm confused. Cutscenes cut in between two scenes. Okay, well, you can also have the. I think I get what you're saying, right? But you can also have, you know, in your just regular scene, you know, a character say something like, well, like a lot of garbage. That's usually what it's used for. If the game takes control of the, you know, dialogue away from you, it's because they're not saying anything super important, or sometimes they are saying something really important. Primary game scene. Yeah. What I'm saying is, like, for some games, they'll just take, you know, regular control away from you during a regular scene. Are they trying to hide something? No, it's usually for like comedic effect, but what if it wasn't? What if it wasn't? And it's, oh, sorry, you weren't paying attention. It's okay. You weren't meant to see it, but if you were paying really, really close attention, you could see something that you weren't supposed to see, basically. What I'm trying to say is I like games that kind of foreshadow future events. Like, if you see it, that's really neat. You'll know what's about to happen. If you don't see it, then that was intentional. Or you pause. Yeah, you could pause. Sometimes it takes it away from you, right? Like, I guess Doki Doki Literature Club doesn't it have some things like that? Like, during some of the glitchier moments, it takes dialogue progression away from you. Watch a YouTube theory crafter video. Yeah. I remember when I used to watch those. Kind of cringe. But I also still like watching those as well. It's a guilty pleasure. So we'll do dialogue label. Text is equal to, what is it? Current, hold on. This is not how you're supposed to do it. Yeah, I think like, it's the same thing in like mystery games. So if you can, I think a mystery game is really cool if you could piece together the entire mystery beforehand, before it gets to the actual solving parts, as opposed to you're just kind of along for the ride and the main character just kind of figures it out for you, right? And so, like, is that, or I guess you'll be able to progress through the game a lot cleaner because you won't be going off through, like, I guess what the game recommends. You already know the solution because you figured it out for yourself. That usually sucks. I think it can be done well though, right? Like, it gives you more agency to try to figure things out for yourself, as opposed to you're basically just watching a movie and then clicking along. You're along for the ride. Like, is it cool sometimes? Yeah, but I think it'd be cooler if you could figure it out. Because you're forced to just watch the game and not let you say, I know what happened. Well, yeah. Well, what I'm more saying is that, like, what if you could, like, choose... What if the game just gave you, like, a path and was like, here's a recommended path. I think we should do this. Because this just logically makes the most sense. But also, if you could just... You can just go somewhere else if you want. you could just go somewhere else if you want, and then you get punished by the fact that, you know, there's nothing there. If you go down the wrong path. You're just like, oh, okay, well... If dialogue, current dialogue. Actually, what things can you do for this? Can you push? Can I pop? How do I pop from an array? Can't I pop from an array, or even like a list in C#? Is that not how this works? So you can solve it early and the game acknowledges that? I don't think I've ever seen that ever. Yeah, but I think that's what I'm saying, is that could be cool. Right? It gives you the option to, like, oh, here's like the actual happy path. But if you know, I guess you just mess up. Or like here's the hand-holdy path that will 100% get you there. There'll be a few detours, but you're experiencing the game. But like, if you think that you know better, or if you already know the solution, then you can, you know, go to certain areas. That kind of goes back to like this idea I had like a while ago, right? So if you were, so you have dialogue and you have dialogue options, but then you also have, you know, the last option, which is like type in your own answer. And so if you just know one of the keywords, basically, you can try to bring that up in conversation. And so I think like most of the time it's a useless option. Right, and you need to, maybe it'd be nice, I don't know, you can just bring it up at any point in the conversation and it should work to make it less guess and check, right? But like, if you know something or you've noticed something, then you can try to bring it up. So like the majority of the time it's kind of useless because you won't know enough. And then that requires like very specific scene design. What do I have, by the way? Resize, duplicate. So it'd be sort of like interactive fiction gives with pre-generated sentences. Oh, yeah, kinda. I guess this would be count, huh? Is less than 1, then we'll... How would you do this? Yeah, I think the idea anyways for what I was kind of suggesting there, where you could type in your own answers, that there's like a few keywords, and then we will take like synonyms or, you know, reasonable synonyms for some words. So it's almost like an adventure game in that aspect. But I think you would want it to be like an adventure game, but without the moon logic of just like, oh, you know, you need to use a strand of hair to pick up the key from the drain. It's like, what? No, it should be like, oh, I noticed, you know, let's talk about the red X. So like, maybe in order to use the pre-generated, or I guess the fill in your own answer, you need to supply, you know, 2 words. So it can be like a noun and an adjective, a noun and a verb. A verb and an adverb. But never like verb and adverb, or like, what other parts of speech are there? You know, killing quickly. You wouldn't want that. Or something. You'd be like the tall tower. Oh, what about the tall tower? Oh, okay. Now we're just going off track. We're off the rails now, but it acknowledges that you've gone off the rail and that you may or may not be on the right path. I think that'd be cool. Otherwise, you'll just go along the train ride. Experience everything. But I think you would need to design the entire game around that idea. I think what you're describing is a very annoying visual novel puzzle game. Isn't that what most visual novels are, though? It's just like basically a puzzle game. It's not even a puzzle game, but you'll just like, if you want to get the ending you want. And like, this isn't even like, you know, if you want to get the perfect ending, you need to use, you know, the type in your own dialogue option, right? Right. This just lets you have a bit more agency if you want to, you know, if you figure something out early. You know, you're missing out on a bit of the experience, for sure, but specifically talking things like Ace Attorney and Danganronpa. Yeah, Danganronpa. Yeah, for sure. Played Ace Attorney. Watched a lot of Danganronpa though, but I've only played Ace Attorney. I thought Ace Attorney was horrible. You unlocked dialogue options by examining evidence. Yeah. I felt like Ace Attorney was a lot of moon logic. Danganronpa looks like it's a lot of moon logic, but I think that's okay. Because it's just ridiculous. You're along for the ride basically, and then you need to figure out like what was the designer thinking in this instance. I thought Ace Attorney was dumb. Some of it was just like, what? One, you're an attorney. What are you doing? This isn't anything like being an attorney. All right, the current dialogue count is less than 1, then we'll hide the GUI. I think how this works is that I can do dialogue label text is equal to current dialogue 0. And then we can do current dialogue. Is it a remove? Is it remove or remove at? And I'm assuming it resizes it as well, possibly. Yeah, remove at index 0. Gotta learn how to think like the game. It's very annoying sometimes. Yeah, that's not my favorite kind of thing. Anyways, what if we do this? Overall screen. So that was a lot of talking, but while I was talking about some random stuff, be like, hello. This is a test. One of these. Yeah. I think I still haven't seen a game that does that though, where it allows you to, you know, yeah, hello, I would like to fill in my own answer to the problem. It could be cool though. I'm not sure if my writing skills are really up to this now. Oh, that's cool. And then we crashed. That's neat. So why did we crash? Oh, is it because... Hold on. Most games that let you type in your own sentences to interact suck. Well, that's because they're not... I feel like it's not built around that idea, right? It just needs to be built around the idea that you need to... They require you to type in the right word. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is that you aren't required to type in the right word. It's like you could just go through the entire Danganronpa, you know, we're doing an investigation. And it's like, yeah, but like I know what the answer is. I would like to, it's like you're playing, what's that one game? Didn't I do... Oh, I didn't return early. That's why. I didn't early return. Pretty sure the initially given idea is just too open-ended. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you would need to design the entire game around that idea. Whereas I think most games are not... They're more designed around like a story that someone has written. If that makes sense. Like they know like, oh, we want you to... you know, be in a killing game. They want you, and we know that we want to have like trials and whatever. But I think you just need to approach it from the other direction of, you know, I want to have, you know, the player be able to do a thing. Yeah, it's just harder because, you know, no one's done it. There's no reference for it. These designers have given up as impossible. And well, I think, like, isn't it in the first... Have you played the first Danganronpa? I have not, but I've watched it. Right, isn't, like, one of the first murders... Actually, like, literally the first... Yeah, literally the first case is, like... You know, spoilers. The guy's name is drawn in blood, but upside down. And it's like... Yeah, what if you're just like, yeah, the blood. The shower. Like, yeah, we didn't need... Apparently, like, in Japanese, it makes more sense. Because, isn't it, like, it's written in English in the Japanese version? And so they're assuming that, you know, if you're Japanese, you wouldn't think to, like, rotate your head upside down and read it upside down. But in English, it's kind of comedic. Oh. Oh. What happened? That feels like a bug. Why am I not able to talk to you again? Oh, does it actually just yeet their entire dialogue? Is that what happens? Oh. Can I not duplicate it? Oh, I can. It does yeet their entire... Oh, they gave me the value. Or gave me a reference to that dialogue instead of just giving me the value of their dialogue, their array. That's interesting. Japanese won't realize because they aren't fluent. That's what I mean. Yeah. Well, that's also what I'm saying though. Is like you could build in something like if you know, even if you weren't fluent, you'd be like, doesn't that spell out a word? Can we talk about this instead? Do you know how a player's background experience will affect gameplay? Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not part of it's not core to the gameplay, right? You can still make the entire trial, but like, you know, if someone knows what's happening, you know, and just be like, yeah, this is dumb. I would like to skip ahead, please. I know the answer. Please. It's like Wheel of Fortune, right? You know the Wheel of Fortune. They have Wheel of Fortune where you're at? Or are you familiar with the game show Wheel of Fortune? Where it's pretty much entirely random chance, but you buy chances to guess out the word. It's like, yeah, we can just guess letters and we'll get there slowly, right? Or maybe I would like to solve the word. I would like to solve it, please. Right, because, you know, if you already know what the word is going to say... Actually, what does this even say? Something good fellow. Really good fellow. Right? I think we realized if you just let us say it would ruin the game flow. So then you have to write up more story for every possible contradiction finding where players jump forward. Yeah, I suppose, yeah, it does make it a bit harder, right? Yeah, there are just more branching dialogue options. But I feel like in games like that, there's not too many branching dialogue options to begin with. Right? Isn't it like those kind of games, they have like, you know, here's the dialogue. And here's... I mean, that's pretty much it, right? Oop. Oop. Oh, I see. I see. So I need to take away your control once. So I talk to you, and then the reason why it's not progressing properly when I talk to them is because it keeps resetting the dialogue events. Nice. Yeah, what you're describing adds a branch. Yeah, it adds a ton of branches. I acknowledge that. But I don't know, I feel like there's a way you could do it. There's a way you could do it. There's like what if you could just have like 2 branches, right? And then say you have, let me draw it out. Let me draw out what I'm describing. I can see it clearly. Maybe I'll change my tune once I once I also draw it out, right? So this is your main story, right? This is your main story. So you have a bunch of plot points, you know, one plot point here, plot point here, plot point here, etc. Right? But then you always have the option to just go like, oh, I think I know something better. So everyone starts here. You're at some story event, and then you're like, wait a minute. I know something. So you branch off, and they're like, yeah, that was a valid input. And then now we're just kind of on the accelerated path where you can kind of, you know, kind of skip the rest of the stuff. But then if you ever like mess up, I suppose, we'll use that word for now, but that's not really what I mean. If you ever come to the wrong conclusion at any one of these points, right? So logically this goes to here, this goes to here, this goes to here, but you could mess up and then you could branch back to the main path. No, not like that. Like this. Something like that. So, you know, you can skip ahead in the story. Or really, you can skip ahead in the story like at any point, right? To skip, but if you mess up, then we'll branch you back somewhere. Probably like here. So fast path versus normal path. Yeah, basically, right? So like, you know, answer me these riddles 3, otherwise get back in line. Count the number of branches you just added. Well, I think the blue branch is more just like, all right, you know, like shut up. You clearly don't know what you're talking about. Get back online. Get back in line. So like this is the main story path, right? So how many branches are there? There are, or I guess how many events are there? I don't know. I feel like the blue path is pretty much the same every time, right? It's just like, oh, like you don't know what you're talking about. But then they'll go off the previous information. Yeah, so build this and I'll believe it. You know what? Is that a challenge? Is that a challenge? I can add it to this one. I like the idea. It sounds like a challenge, but I think that it has potential. It has potential. The only problem is that I don't know. Like I'm coming at this from the perspective of like an Ace Attorney or Danganronpa. Whereas like those stories don't really have any branches, right? They just have the main story, and then you just need to guess as to what the designer was thinking, right? And so what I'm suggesting is just, you know, this is your happy path, and then this is your fast track. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna use the restroom really quick. I've been drinking tea the entire stream. Hello, I'm back. I think you see it ruin the flow. It might. I'm not convinced. Not convinced. I think you just need to build. You need to build something meant for it. Maybe not even, right? I don't know. The duck really freaks out when you sit down. Or just whenever I move away from the camera. Look at that. It's like jelly. Love to be proven wrong. Alright, prepare yourself. I'll build it into this game. Actually, I probably won't. That sounds complicated. That sounds really complicated. And that's not really what's this game is about. But it might be. I don't know. Maybe I will build it in. Maybe I will. It's the worst part of mystery visual novels. Yeah. Is like knowing the answer to a case, and then not being able to, and being sit the force through it. Add one mini mystery at the end if you have time. Yeah. Maybe. Also, what am I doing? So we don't need to print the sender. Actually, wait a minute. Be practical? No. It's all or nothing, baby. I'm a little curious though as to, well, I guess that's okay, right? So this has so this is printing out the sender as an area 2D, which is what it is, but it's not giving me the C# class, which I think is still fine. Yeah, I guess I can still cast it here. Fine, I'll build a 3D FPS MMORPG in a month then. Easy. I can do that. It won't be good, but I can do it. Everyone's gonna be cubes. It'll be cube MMO. Cube shooter MMO. It'll be beautiful. I could probably make something like that. Like, as long as we're like keeping it like the very, very basics. Right? Wouldn't it? A 3D FPS MMORPG. So we strip it down to its basics. So everyone's a cube. Or at least everyone else is rendered as a cube. Art like 11? Absolutely not. Best I can do is art like the original Pong. Yeah. And then MMO, FPS, not too hard. I mean, the netcode is probably going to be a huge pain. That's okay. What constitutes an MMO? There's not. Is there a player size limit? And then RPG, you know, you level up. Be able to shoot other people harder. That's how guns work. MMO Pong. Well, isn't Realm of the Mad God was a MMO top-down shooter, twin-stick shooter, right? Actually, is Realm of the Mad God still running? Of the Mad God. It's not Pong. Well, that's okay. It's close enough. Have you played this game? This game was a lot of fun. I don't know how MMO Pong would work, though. Yeah, I played on Concrete. Oh, baby. Played a lot of that game. Flash days, yeah. Like it's on Steam. I think they ported it, so should work more or less. What was I doing here again? Oh, hide GUI. So hide. So here, progress dialogue. Hold on. Or no, it should be. Wait, what? Hold on, I think I'm missing something. So where does show dialogue get called? Oh, on dialogue event. Boom. And then this, okay. I always get confused by this level of indirection. But we do show dialogue. We grab the dialogue from here, we duplicate it, because this is actually a reference to our NPC units dialogue. So we don't want to change that. We show our dialogue container, change our state, and then call progress dialogue once to show the first line of text, right? And then additionally, we need to call getTree pause is equal to true, right? And then once your dialogue is done, we'll unpause everything. So I think that should work. Maybe. So I walk over here. Nothing on screen. I think the diagonal movement does need to be reworked, or maybe even just completely taken out. But anyways, hello. Can't move. Ooh, no. Oh no. Pressing buttons. Okay. So I thought that was here. Is it unhandled input? Is that what I want? Unhandled input. Well, this is technically the GUI. All right, I'll be lurking. Thanks for hanging out, Knock. I'm actually going to be going offline soon, so I have work to do. I slack too much off. Oh, sorry, it's actually question mark lurk. And also, it fails at getting your name. I think there's a bug. Yeah. Hooray! I don't know. Oh, and the help command's actually completely wrong as well. What is it? Actually, yeah, I should probably check that out. Why does that happen? So, not the runner. It's in package, Twitch bots. So this is what it is so far. It's pretty bad. This is how the Discord bot used to be structured, actually. So lurk, message, user, display name. No, that's correct. Your display name is a string. And I'm doing a bit of string formatting with sprint F. Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe the display name. Maybe I don't have access to the display name anymore. I'll have to see. Like, I know Discord works, right? But I think Twitch user, yeah, actually, yeah, no, Twitch user is a hard-coded string. Never mind. Ignore that. Anyways, thanks for hanging out, Knock. Much appreciated. As always. So, I'll talk to you, and then we're not able to get any more inputs. So I wonder where my input is being stopped. So, because I do want to pause all other inputs. So Gooey Layer should not be paused at all. So this is process. Yeah, pause mode. Where is it? Paused. It's not really what I was looking for. Where is it? Is it by node? Is what I want a node? So node has a pause mode on it. Yeah, pause mode. So pause mode stops processing when the scene tree is paused. Pause mode to continue the process regardless of scene tree pause state. So that's correct, I think. So we can do it here. So hello, right? Let me look at remote. Viewports, there's our GUI layer. So this is pause mode process. You should be inherit, yeah. Yeah, that's all correct. So why is unhandled input incorrect? Right, so we're still processing through the correct states as well. All right, let's run it here, and I can set a breakpoint, and we can figure out where exactly this isn't working. Boom. So are we able to catch my unhandled inputs? I don't think we are. I think that's the problem. Like, that should have triggered a breakpoint immediately. That's a bit weird. Not here. Continue the process regardless of scene tree pause state. And so inside of the GUI layer, right, all of these are pause mode inherit. So they should be inheriting process from here. It's a bit tough. It's a bit tough. Progress dialogue. So there's something here that is breaking. So show dialogue. And then, yeah, then we break for there. That's okay. Continue on. And then we should hit breakpoint here. State is GUI state dialog. Yep. Yep. And then we're not able to receive any more inputs, huh? Does this need to be... Does pause mode stop me from receiving unhandled inputs? Oh, that's not good. Does pause mode stop me from receiving unhandled inputs? So I can hit it with, actually, even if it is pause, maybe it's just regular inputs as well. Let's test that. We're close. I can feel it. Boom. Yeah, so I'm just never hitting this breakpoint, huh? So the current state is GUI state. A bit weird how that works. I feel like it's not cleaning up the game properly, but that's okay. Yeah, let's change this to be a public override void process. And we'll hit it with a switch state. So this is very similar. Actually, this is almost exactly the same. So let's just copy and paste instead. So that's our state. Then we'll do input is action just pressed. Yeah. So then we can try this instead. Wait a minute. Hold on. What the heck? Bring me back. Save. This is overwriting some of my other code. Is that why it's not working? Okay. This is pause mode process. This is the correct stuff. We can actually comment this out. Build the solution. This is a test. Ooh. So that's okay. Does pause mode pause inputs as well? So Godot. So Godot pause mode inputs. Unhandled input. Unhandled input. How do I make a pause menu take mouse input? Problem with pausing my game. So unhandled event. Option. Does it add a lot of latency? I don't think input adds a lot of latency. I think that's actually wrong. Option adds a lot of latency? I don't think it does. I think, yeah, I feel like that's wrong. Because input events is just an input queue. So it's asynchronous, it fires as fast as possible. What I'm thinking is happening is that we're just not receiving input for whatever reason. Right? So if I go here, add no can turn off the mouse filter, even though like there's no reason for us to do that, because there's no mouse input at all, so it doesn't make a difference. We can do that just to make sure that this is correct. I feel like this is wrong, or no, this is not firing properly for whatever reason. All right, so start it from here. We did observe that this is working properly when we're using process, but now it's not working anymore using inputs. So pause mode must be pausing input. All right, so what does the scene tree hierarchy look like here? So go to remote. Boom. Does viewport container should be ignoring my mouse input as well? Oh, mouse filters stop actually. There's no way that this is causing the. Actually, I need this to. Let's pass it. I don't know. I mean, that shouldn't have anything to do with this, but you never know. Okay, that's good. That's good. Maybe I need to do like a viewport handle input locally kind of thing. Maybe. So it's rendering, blah, blah, blah. GUI disable input is off. We don't want to disable inputs. Handle input locally. What does this mean? My pause mode. All right. That's a bit tough. So it looks like this is what I need to do, not this part. Which is to say, I need to just pull for input in the GUI. And then also, we need to have, I guess, a flag somewhere. Or actually, no. What if we just do this? So we don't progress the dialogue once. So what we're running into is kind of a timing issue, but boom. Yeah, okay. And so I can go back. Yeah, like that. Oh no. What happened? Whoop. What? Where'd I go? What? That's a bit weird. What happened? Just kind of moonwalked off the screen. So this shouldn't be valid. This might be invalid. I don't know. How did I do that? What did I do before? What? Oh. Oh. Oh, it's because some of my inputs get stuck, isn't it? Some of my inputs get stuck whenever I flip from being paused to unpaused. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, one of these gets stuck, so I'm never able to release or unrelease. Is there a notification I can listen to zero out the movements? Yeah, there must be. So what connections? I think it's the scene tree, right? Has a few connections I can listen to. Tree changed. How do I listen for unpause? So this is the scene tree. Is it main loop that has it? Signals. How about this one? Signals. Script changed. No. Main loop. No. What's the default notification, I guess, for notification? Yeah. It's at resume. So well, most of these I don't need, but what are constants? OS. Oh, a lot of these are just getting removed. Interesting. Constants, notification, enter tree. How do I yeah, notification unpaused. How do I grab this? Constants, how do I want this. Propagate notification? How do I subscribe to a notification? Notification. Get notification. On notification. What is it? Queue free, no. Raise, probably not. What is raise, actually? Moves this node to the bottom of the parent node's children hierarchy. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I probably could have used that several times before. Tree exited. Signals. No. Inherits object. But how do I... Godot. Notification. Alright. Here we go. One of these. Let's see. Some of these notifications like draw or... Okay, it will call notification draw. So this is them with dedicated functions. Post pop-up. One can access all of these custom notifications from the universal notification method. Ah, interesting. So there is just a notification method I can override. Interesting. Interesting. I didn't know that. So we can do one of these, right? So this is unhandled inputs. Over public, override, void. What is it called? Notification. No suitable method found to override it. And it's like, this is what it's called, what? Int what? Right? Okay, cool. So we'll switch case off of the notification. So case, what are these stored as? Yeah, like I have a bunch of notifications, so it's just notification. Notification. What is it? Unpaused? Paused? Notification paused. So we want to do, we'll zero out your intended movement is equal to vector to 0. Of course it would break. Actually, we don't need to do that, right? We can do case notification unpaused. Notification unpaused. Yeah, there we go. And otherwise, don't do anything. So that should fix this problem here, which is when we, I guess, pause to enter the dialogue. I guess if we kind of do like a drive-by like that. Nope. 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 It's not how that works. Intended movements. Oh, and then input direction should also be input. Oh. Wait. That's actually a bit tough. You see the... Yeah, I see it. I see what's happening. which is, I am zeroing it out correctly, but whenever we unpause, we can see that it gets zeroed out here. So we zero it out, intended movement. So if we are pressing UI right, we're pressing UI right, it gets zeroed out when we pause to go into dialogue. And then when we release it again, now it's not zeroing anything out. So if I do something like this, yeah, okay. How bizarre. I wonder. So I can handle a few more things, probably. I don't know. Guess I'll have to think about this. So let's add a to-do. When releasing an input after unpause, this can cause the movement to go below 1, I guess. Cause intended movement to go below 1. I guess like absolute 1, right, basically. Anyways, that's gonna be it for me for today. Yeah, usually I would keep going, but I have stuff I need to do. I need to do actual work since I'm a slacker. But anyways, if you haven't given the channel a follow already, I would highly encourage you to do so. I stream every Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. Wednesday is a bit later from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern time. And yeah. A Discord there, which I've just posted in the chat. If you want to get notifications on whatever. I wrote this piece of software in Godot. I do pretty much everything I do in Godot for whatever reason. And so this also supports everyone's favorite anime models. Everyone loves anime models. Like that. Made this stream avatars looking thing as well. It's not stream avatars though. It's my own thing. All of this code can be found free and open source on my GitHub, which is linked in my description down below. And yeah, you know, I will see you on Tuesday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. See ya. Actually, before we bounce, let's see. Well, there's still people here. And then if I can get Twitch to load up for me. It's being very slow. There we go. Browse. Is anyone doing Godot? If not, I'll just leave you hanging. There are some people doing Godot stuff. Alright. I think that's probably Godot. So get ready to get sent, I guess. Raid. 2 viewers, 4 viewers. They're doing monster and level art, but they streaming under the Godot tag, so let's see what they're doing. Anyways, goodbye.